Hello and welcome to RealTalkRealPeople.com. We are so excited to have Naseem Maat, who is a #1 massage therapist, but more than that, he has a lot to talk about. Just to give you a little background on Naseem, in 2005, he survived a near-death experience with diabetes and a blood glucose level of 675. If you don't know, that is more than 570 points above normal. And while he was in the hospital for several days, Naseem credits his recovery to God, his wife, his family, and his belief that there's a better way to live. And his, I want to say tagline, but he emphatically says, it may sound strange, but diabetes saved my life. Naseem, welcome to Real Talk, Real People. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Thank you for inviting me, Jen. I really do appreciate it.
No problem. So tell us a little bit about your experience. You say diabetes saved your life. And how is that? That may sound strange to people.
Yeah, I know it's strange, but to go through this experience, you would consider it strange because in 2005, when I was diagnosed, I noticed the symptoms for a long time. And I ignored the symptoms. I was urinating, going to the bathroom every hour and a half. Noticed sores on my thumb. I never got it on my foot, though, but on my thumb. And it would take a long time to heal. And it would be very sore. So when I noticed that the sore were turned into like a light green color, that lets you know it's infected. So when I went to visit my doctor, she asked me how am I feeling. I said, I'm doing all right. Everything's fine. A little tired, but everything's fine. So she took some blood work. They don't do blood work there at where she's at. About a week went by. And I noticed I started feeling really tired all the times.
Now, this is just not the regular kind of tired, but is it like a lethargic tired? Because, you know, a lot of people are tired and they may think, uh-oh, something's wrong.
Right. You know how you feel when you fell asleep on your arm and you wake up?
Yeah.
I felt that way all over my body. I was going to work, working midnights. And one morning I got up, I thought I heard the phone ring, and I heard the voice recorder, and I could have sworn I heard my doctor. So I went and got the message, turned it on, and it was my doctor said to call her immediately. So I called my doctor, and she said, how you feeling? I said, well, I feel pretty good. A little tired. And, well, I got to go to work tonight, so I'm going back to lay back down. So she said, well, I need you to go to the emergency room. So I said, okay. And then she said, now. I said, well, I have to work tonight. I can go in the morning, but I got to work tonight. I can't go to no emergency. So she said, well, listen.
So let me get this straight. So your doctor actually told you to go to the emergency room and you still were fighting it.
That's right.
At that time?
Uh-huh.
Wow, okay.
And that's when you know you have ignorance, you know? Ignorance means you don't know.
Right, exactly.
So when the doctor said you need to go to emergency, I said, look, I got to work, okay? She said, listen, your sugar level is 675. And that still didn't click. I said, okay. And she said, go to the emergency room now. So I said, all right, I guess I'll go. So I told my wife.
Begrudgingly you went.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I told my wife, and she said, well, let's go. So she threw the kids in the car. She drove about 150 miles per hour getting to the hospital.
I bet she did.
It's about usually a 45-minute drive. I think we got there within 10 minutes. So when we got to the emergency room, she dropped me off at the emergency room, and one of my sons walked in the room with me while she go park the car. So I went to the receptionist area, And I told the lady, well, my doctor told me that I need to come to the emergency room because I have a sugar level of 675. So she said, well, we're booked up right now, but go ahead and have a seat. So I went on ahead and...
Just like a hospital.
Yeah, you know, typical, right? So I went on ahead and sat down. And all of a sudden, I got this really tired feeling again, confused and disoriented. So I went back to the receptionist, and I said, hey, I'm feeling really tired. Something's going on here. So she said, well, we're backed up, but please have a seat. So on my way walking back to sit down, I passed out on the floor.
Ooh. Wow.
So
I guess it's a good thing you're at the hospital.
Good thing I'm at the hospital, exactly. That's right. So my middle son, he's trying to wake me up, and he's pulling on my arm so I can still hear him. Dad, you okay? You okay? So the emergency nurses came running out to help me up, and they brought me back to the emergency area in the back. And I heard one of the nurses say, yeah, that's one of the ways you can get back here in a hurry. So, yeah, right. So I'm on this emergency bed, and I'm starving, right? So, you know, they hooked me up with all the kinds of IVs and doing all kind of blood work. And all of a sudden, I'm looking at my son, especially my oldest son. He's pacing back and forth, looking at me saying, Dad, it don't look good. It don't look good at all.
Oh, no.
So I told my boys, Dad's going to be fine. Dad's going to be fine. So what happened was I sort of passed out again because I was really exhausted. And the strange thing what happened, I dozed off and I started thinking about my father, because my father died of cancer. And me and two of my brothers, we flew up to Philadelphia. And I had four brothers, but two of my brothers and myself, we flew up to Philadelphia. And we were around his bed, and this actually happened. But I dozed off, like I said, and I was thinking about what I did. I was looking down at him with me and my two other brothers, but my sons are looking down at me on my bed.
Oh, wow. That's very deep.
So when I was done with that, I came to, and I said to myself, this is deep. You know, this is deep, because it's me and my two brothers, three of us, and I have three boys. You see the correlation with that?
Oh, yes. Oh, wow.
That was deep. So
it's all in line.
Yeah, so, you know, when I woke up, like I said, quite a few hours went by, and I'm starving. So the doctor comes in, and he says, well, Mr. Naseem, I hate to tell you this, but I do have some good news as well. First of all, you're diabetic. And I said, okay. And then he said, well, the good news is you don't have problems with your liver. You don't have problems with your kidneys. And the psychological part, you're good there too. Well, I said, I don't know about that one. The psychological part, I may have a problem here. So he just looked at me as...
Depending on who's looking at it, right? It
yeah, right.
On who's looking at it.
So he started laughing, and I'm laughing. But he said the unusual thing about this, Mr. Naseem, all your organs are fine other than you having diabetes. But usually, when I have to talk to African Americans, usually I have to tell them they're on dialysis for the rest of their life. But with you, you're diabetic, but nothing else.
Wow.
And that's unusual.
That's big right there. Yeah, that's big right there, because most people are, once they're told that, they're hooked to the machine for the rest of their lives.
That's right. That's right. So in that sense, I was blessed. And after that episode, I went to the room. They admitted me, and I was in the hospital for 6 days. So the part that diabetes saved my life came to a part in my life in the hospital. A lady came in my room, and I'm not sure if she was a nurse or not, because she walked in my room, didn't say anything. She walked over to my window and peeked out.
Okay.
And then she came close to me, then peeked underneath my bed, and then got real close to me and said, "Be careful of the food you eat in here."
Uh-oh.
And then she walked out.
Whoa.
So I'm looking.
Okay, so we don't know if that was part of the staff or that was
What?
Now, were you dreaming, or was that an actual person?
That was an actual person. That actually happened. So she made me so nervous, I got up out the bed. I walked to the window and started looking to make sure FBI, CIA isn't looking for this lady. I looked underneath the bed and looked in the restroom, and I was like, "Oh boy!"
It had to be tapped. You were looking for the wiretap.
I was looking for a wiretap.
And the cameras. What's going on here?
What is going on? So the next day, a nurse came in. She came and checked my blood sugar, and my blood sugar it's gone down some from 675. It's gone down to about 500. Still high, but it's gone down some. High, right. And she said, "Mr. Naseem, your blood sugar is still high. You have to be careful with what you eat." I said, "What? What do you mean I have to be careful? You the one gave it to me. Don't you know you should not be giving me this food?" So
she said, "Look, this is just my job. I just bring it to you guys."
And we started debating about this. And so she said, "Okay, Mr. Naseem, but just be careful of the food you eat in here." So this is the second time I heard this. Okay?
Yeah, this was a different. The second time, this is a different nurse, right?
This was an actual nurse that was in nursing gear this time.
Oh, okay.
The other one didn't have any gear.
The other one sounds like that could have been the angel.
Right, it's possible. Now, I wouldn't rule that out.
Absolutely.
So I sat up thinking about what she said and what the previous lady said. And then before she left, she said, "We have videos on diabetes and health." And she said, "It's right on the TV there." And I said, "Okay." So I thought about that. They had a week of videos on just health, diabetes, how to eat right, how to exercise, how to check your blood glucose level. So I thought about it. Then I went on ahead and started watching the videos. I watched a week of videos in a 24-hour period.
Oh, wow.
I was hungry.
You weren't playing with it.
Because all of a sudden, once I was done with watching the video, I said to myself, my grandfather died from diabetes. My uncle died from diabetes. I'm in a hospital.
Uh-oh, it started to sink in.
Fool, you can die.
Oh, my goodness. So, in your opinion, was that the turning point? That was the epiphany?
That was it.
Because you're saying that, before that time, you were just kind of like, yeah, I have diabetes.
That's right. When it clicked, it felt like a rock falling from the sky.